South Sudan participate in 2025 FAO high-level ministerial event in Rome. Authorities in Western Equatoria State upgrade Iba Primary Healthcare Center into hospital. And Warab State Governor engages traditional leaders in peace efforts. It is 4th of July 2025 and welcome you to SSBC 8 p.m. News. I am Akuchimaker. And now the chairperson of the reconstituted Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission, Major General George Agre Owino, and Vice President Taban Dengai discussed implementation of the revitalized peace agreement. The two leaders met in Juba on Thursday.
Starting with Nairobi, and then I'll go to other capitals so that we have the regional heads of state, who are the main guarantors to the peace agreement, to have a clear picture of the status of where we are, to also send them any special messages from the leadership, from the presidency and from the vice presidents and other leaders also, to send them any message that they may be having and any other maybe support that they might require. So basically, really, that is the essence of this meeting. This was the last. I've met all the other vice presidents, and so we are very, very clear in where we are, so that even if I go to give the briefing, it is one very clear briefing that we all understand where.
Deputy Governor Zakaria Garang describes the security situation in Western Bar Ghazal State as calm. Zakaria affirmed this during a meeting with the Presidential Advisor on National Security Affairs, Madundutiel, in Juba, where they discussed the political, security and humanitarian situation in the state. Madut emphasized the significance of peaceful coexistence and services delivery to the communities.
حقيقة ان احنا اجتمعنا اجتماع مهم مع مستشار الشؤون الامنية لرئيس الجمهورية السيد مدوديال، ونورت حول الوضع الامني الموجود في الولاية بشكل عام، وضع مستقر خاصة في مقاطعات الثلاثة، وبالإضافة لواو بالنسبة للكاسل. نورت برضو حول الأوضاع في كل المناطق ديل، لأنه في استقرار كبير جدا أمنيا، والانشغال بتاع المواطنين بالزراعة هذه الأيام. إحنا ناقشنا برضو قضايا مهمة بخصوص مستقبل الاستقرار في المنطقة، سواء كان في واو كاونتي أو في نهر الجورة أو في راجة. مستقبل الاستقرار هو محتاج لتعاون كبير جدا بين حكومة الولاية والأجهزة الأمنية وحكومة المركز هنا، عشان يوفروا كل متطلبات بتاعت الأجهزة الأمنية الموجودة، خاصة الشرطة. موبيليتيز بتاع الشرطة يكون موجود، وبرضه يدعمون بكثير من الأعتاد اللي ممكن يساعدهم في أداء مهام بتاعهم. كذلك كل الوحدات العسكرية، حتى الواي لايف برضه، لأن عندنا قطاع كبير حيواني هناك موجودة في الغابة، برضه محتاج حماية ومحتاج القوة يكون موجود هنا، يكون عندها برضو الوضع الكويس اللي بيقدر يساعدهم يحافظوا على كمية الثروة الحيوانية الموجودة، وفي الغابة الثروة الغابية الموجودة برضو. فحقيقة ده اجتماع مثمر ومهم، وسيد المستشار وعد بالتعاون كبير مع الولاية، بالتعاون حتى نوفر الاستقرار المطلوب في الولاية ونحقق طموحات بتاع جماهير بتاع ولاية غرب بحر غزال. حقيقة ان احنا اجتماع.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mandes Maya Kumba, Egyptian Ambassador Mohamed El Moutes discussed strengthening bilateral ties between Juba and Cairo across various fields. Minister Kumba reaffirmed government's commitment to enhancing relations between the two nations. Ambassador Moutes spoke to SSBC on what transpired during the meeting.
We tackled in the meeting and highlighting the cooperation between Egypt and South Sudan in different fields and how to enhance this relation and move it forward. Also, we tackled in the meeting the visits between Egypt and South Sudan on the high level and the preparation for that in the future on the coming days. Also, His Excellency said that we have to move the relation forward in the future and become more.
The United Nations Organization for Project Services expresses interest to supporting vocational education. This came during a meeting with the Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology, Madun Biar, and UNOP's delegation in Juba on Friday. Minister Biar told SSBC after the meeting that he briefed the delegation on the ministry's priorities and areas the UN agency would support. The head of the delegation, Halawi Alwindi, highlighted the organization areas of interest.
We are going to work out all the projects that are going to share with the UNOP, and that the area that we would like UNOP to support the higher education sector in the Republic of South Sudan, not only on the education, but also practice on the field of higher education. For example, if you take agriculture.
We have been really excited to see into the vision that the ministry has for this very important sector in South Sudan. And we believe that we have something to bring to the table to really tap into the opportunities of really making our vocational skills training centers, as well as the higher institutions of learning, including universities, tapping into the resources that are already available and seeing how we can use those resources, one, as centers of excellence in South Sudan. Because
the Deputy Minister of General Education and Instruction, Martin Tako Moy, says the ministry would present a bill of the compulsory education to the Council of Ministers to allow education opportunity for all. Moy stated this during the closing of a session on the implementation of the Global Partnership for Education. We have the report.
The National Ministry of General Education and Instruction is now set to implement the Global Partnership for Education project with the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund UNICEF, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO, Save the Children Organization, and the Norwegian Council for Refugees. The 4-year project, worth 58 million United States dollars, is focused on developing primary school education for upholding gender equality and equity in education. Addressing the function, the Deputy Minister of Education, Martin Takomoy, says the ministry is set to submit a bill on compulsory education to Council of Ministers.
Education in this country is the top priority for the government of the Republic of South Sudan. There is a bill on its way to the cluster, Council of Ministers for compulsory education. This is to make it possible for any community not to prevent children from going to school. That's what I want to show our partners, that we are very serious about education. You'll get a full support from the Ministry of Education that we implement what has been agreed upon.
Kachual Piok Mabil, Undersecretary in the ministry, says the ministry is to collaborate with the development partners in implementing the project for realizing the desired educational objectives.
Let's work together to implement this program to the expectation of the donor as well as the host state. At the national level, we will work together with our state ministries. Okay. In the event of any issue, please bring them to our attention. We will address them upfront. So it means, I think we have come to a certain level in terms of building our institution, so that we are adequately or sufficiently prepared to be able to implement this project on our own in the next phase.
The national coordinator of the National Education Coalition, Ador Riak, says the project covers the 4-year main objectives.
This program prioritizes 4 objectives. 1, to promote gender-responsive, inclusive, and effective teaching practices and curriculum implementation in pre- and lower primary schools. Secondly, to enhance support to schools that can be sustained, so that we can sustain more and improve learning opportunities. Third, to increase access to education with particular emphasis on opening better opportunities for girls, children with disabilities, and other marginalized groups. Fourth and final, to strengthen the entire education system, capacity for self-delivery, evidence generation, and robust. Ministry of Youth Education and Instruction, UNICEF, and SAFE, the Children Consortium. It is reaffirmation of our collective responsibility to transform South Sudan education landscape.
The Ministry of General Education and Instruction estimates there are more than 600,000 learners, 20 counties, and the most affected regions in the country stand to benefit from the 4-year project.
Now we are going for a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Welcome back from that short break. Now to proceed with our news bulletin tonight. South Sudan Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Lily Albino Akol participate among the 194 member nations in 2025 FAO high-level ministerial event in Rome, Italy, focusing on the global food security, agricultural innovation, and sustainable development under the theme Unlocking Potentials with Technology and Innovation for Improved Productivity and Sustainability in Agri-Food System. We have the report.
Climate change coupled with other natural disasters are threatening global food security, FAO report presented at the 44th conference in Rome warns people in 5 hotspots around the globe. The Sudan, Palestine, South Sudan, Haiti, and Mali are at risk of famine or confronted with catastrophic levels of acute food insecurity subsequent to intensifying or persisting conflicts, economic shocks, and natural hazards. Representing the country in the global arena, Lily Albino, Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, underlines the government's commitment to key investment in fisheries, livestock, and climate resilient.
South Sudan seeks blended financing, combining public investment, concessional loans, grants, and private sector co-investment. Our development budget is limited and overstretched across peace-building priorities, so partnership with development banks, FAO, IFAD, and regional financial institutions will be vital.
The Deputy Minister emphasized compounding threats of hunger, flooding, and economic instability in the country.
Our lakes, rivers, and floodplains hold significant potential to enhance food security, improve nutrition, and generate employment income opportunities, particularly in rural and peri-urban areas. However, realizing this potential demands concerted investments to address several core technical and financial needs.
She identifies agro-food productivity and use-driven initiatives in agricultural programs as priorities of this government in fixing high-rate use and employment.
I stand before you here today as a voice from a nation rising from conflict, scarred yet fiercely hopeful. South Sudan embodies untapped potential. 75% of our population is under 30. Our fertile lands span 30 million hectares, and our water resources could irrigate 5 million hectares. Yet, our youth, especially rural young women, face food insecurity, exclusion from resources, and systemic inequality.
South Sudan's delegation to the conference participating in electing Mr. Mina Rizik, an Egyptian, the new chairperson of the Food and Agriculture Organizations, addressing delegates to the conference. Lily Accols says South Sudan has seized the opportunity of the forum to showcase the national agricultural transformation agenda backing by the international partners, especially at a time President Kiir has declared 2025 the year for agriculture.
Of all the great initiatives that this organization is giving us, we wish you all the best, and together I'm sure we want to see you at the forefront of the reforms that are much needed. Congratulations again, and all the best of luck.
The 44 FAO has served as a dual purpose for South Sudan. It has brought to the attention of the global community the Agricultural Ministry endeavors to support farmers and awaken the government to facilitate an agriculture conference to remedy disaster in the country. Mangar Gabriel, SSBC.
The long-awaited revival of the Juba Military Hospital mortuary is finally underway. Thanks to a timely intervention by the South Sudan Revenue Authority, a donation worth over $21,500 is helping to bring the facility back to life after nearly 2 years of closure. SSBC Emmanuel Patrick has the details.
For nearly 2 years, this mortuary within the grounds of the Juba Military Referral Hospital has stood still. A lack of key equipment, including industrial compressors, halted operations and affected not just military personnel, but also the surrounding communities who rely on the facility. That silence is now being broken. The South Sudan Revenue Authority, through its leadership, has funded the installation of a new compressors and other vital components valued at $21,500.
The compressors, which were the greater obstacle to the running of the mortuary of Juba Military Hospital, now it is operational. They gave us $21,500. 13,000 for the compressors and 6,000 for the 2 ambulances. The 2 ambulances we bought the engines, one got repaired, the other one is still on the process with some limitations. As we have seen, the mortuary is operational now, but Commissioner General is saying he's in the process to add some additional more renovations to the mortuary.
According to hospital leadership, the support comes at a critical time as renovation efforts near completion.
Within these 2 years, of course, we had a lot of problems because the majority of unknown bodies are receiving this hospital. So they were not taking them anywhere except this hospital. And we went to an extent of even using blocks of ice to keep the bodies open. And out of our concern, the information went to the Commissioner General, and he said, I will do something, and he has done it. And we know after 5 or 4 or 6 days, this hospital will receive or will function the way it used to function.
Leading the inspection was the Commissioner General of SSRA, Simon Akwei-Deng, who emphasized the importance of supporting institutions that directly serve the people.
So today we have come to check, and at least the compressors are working, the cooling system is working, which is a very good thing. And we want to say that we are supporting this facility because it is delivering services to our people. Delivering services to the population. As you heard from the general, that the most of the unclaimed bodies are dumped here. And if there is no proper cooling systems and also support for fuel, then it becomes very difficult for the government of South Sudan to be able to deliver these services in this very great facility of Juba Military Hospital. So we will continue to do whatever we can within our capacity. And today here we will continue also to improve a few things that we have just noticed that need correction, so that at least the place is fully operational and the services are delivered here to the people that are in need.
The inspection was attended by senior officials from both the military and the SSRA. Their presence marked a renewed collaboration between civil and military institutions in rebuilding critical infrastructure. With the mortuary nearly fully restored, both patients and families in surrounding communities are expected to benefit from its smoother and more dignified services. Emmanuel Patrick Lako, SSBC News, Juba.
The Parliament's Standing Specialized Committee on Finance and Economy, led by the Deputy Chairperson, Susan Thomas, engages with the Commissioner General of South Sudan National Revenue Authority on specifics of duties on imported goods. The meeting focused on the need to include value-added tax in South Sudan's laws, calling upon the Ministry of Finance and Planning to establish a department responsible for tax policies. The technical advisor for Revenue Affairs, Agre Tisa Sabuni, highlights the importance of public awareness on setting revenue and exchange rates to stabilize the local currency against foreign currencies.
We are going to call a 2-day workshop for all the revenue generating collecting agencies to sit together and bring the state ministers and the commissioner generals at the state level and the 3 administrative areas, so that he present to us this presentation on this benchmarking on all the other 7 countries in the region, so that South Sudan can sit down and come up with tax policies which can enable the government to collect taxes and even our agriculture produces, so that we can create market for them and even encourage our producers to produce their goods so that they can sell them and get something. And if they get enough money, they can.
The Inspector General of Police, General Abraham Manyuat Peter, on Friday launched a new logo for professional standard police from white and red to white and blue, which reflect the color of the National Police Service. The police chief urged the professional standard police to stick to their mandate of enforcing discipline and professionalism within the police service and respect civilians. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Lieutenant General Thomas Jal Thomas, says the professional standard police represents the interest of the public by investigating and addressing police misconduct. Additionally, the Assistant Inspector General for General Administration and Finance, Lieutenant General Majang Arol Kachual, underscores the responsibility of the professional standard police in setting standards for performance, conduct, and integrity within the police.
أنا جينا هنا للتدشين بتاع الليجو الجديد بالنسبة ل professional standard. والشعار القديم ده يعني فيه خلط بينكم وبين الشرطة العسكرية، فلما تغير يكون بلو أنا شايف ده كلام كويس، لأنه negotiate this issue مع المدير بتاعكم لأنه why do we have the red؟ أجانا يا بكون أبيض يا بكون زهري أو يكون أسود. فهو أخذ الفكرة ده and today he made a change أننا هنمشي لبلو، مش بس في اللوجو اللي انتوا لابسينه، لكن برضو غيروه في العربات، لأنه العربات برضو لسه ده ريد. فده كلام جميل. انت ما ممكن تمشي او تظبط زول تاني وانت ذاتك انت محلها اخلاقك ما كويس. So you start from yourself. تبدا بنفسك.
نظرا لضيق الزمن نكرر شكري لإدارة أمن الشرطة ونقول لكم استمروا على هذا المنوال. أنا برضو بنسأل القيادة بتاعتنا بتاعت الشرطة على رأسهم الIGP ونائبه إنه يضعوا اهتمام خاص بهذه الإدارة إن يدوا الإمكانيات التي تؤدي الشغل كما ينبغي. انتم محتاجين لمال لتجنيد المصادر. الايجنتس ما بيجندوهم. ما ممكن نجيب زول ولا انا عايزك تبقى ايجنت ما بتستدرجوا ريو بالمال عشان ما يجي يكون مخبر يديكم معلومات. فانا بنطلب القياده بتاعتنا انه تبقى حريصه جدا لدعم اداره امن الشرطه.
أقول بس لكاميرا كويت ولبندرية وكل الضباط الموجودين هنا والضباط الموجودين هنا إنه تنجزتوا إن شاء الله مرة جاي نجي هنا لإنجاز جديد. البوليس أخذ في نفسه أخذ الوطنية اللي قالوا قبل شغالين بالفي بالمافي هم شغالين. ده وطنية كبيرة جدا جدا. فبنشتغل على ذلك واصلوا.
The launching we are doing today, the work done by our former brothers in the Directorate of Corporation Standard were very nice, which is good. But the only thing that the present logo which you have, the colors which are there, are not our colors in the police or in Ministry of Interior. Because our every unit have been specified with certain colors that they have to use them. We have white, we have black, we have blue, these are our colors. So this is what makes us to change to our real color of South Sudan National Police Service. Even though the logo we have is good, but the color which is there is not our color. That color belongs to our brothers of SSPTF and Fire Brigade. So we mean to have a stand on our colors, because these are colors which are resembling us day and night. Fashion standard, really we are facing a lot of problems, because there are some of our brothers, they are not aware of our mandates. What is the mandate?
The government of Central Equatorial State, in its weekly meeting chaired by Governor Rabi Mjuk Emmanuel, discussed completion of Terkeka Tidilo Tali Road following a memo presented by the Minister of Roads and Bridges. Speaking to the press, Acting Information Minister Jacob Alingo says key issues discussed during the meeting include memorandum presented by the State Minister of Roads and Bridges requesting $8.3 million for completion of Terkeka Tindilo Tali Road. The cabinet approved more than $220,000 for completion of 2 bridges along the same road, with the remaining balance to be incorporated in the 2025-2026 fiscal year budget.
The Council cast another memo by the Ministry of Roads and Bridges requesting for approval of $8.3 million for completion of Terkeka Tindilo Tali Road. The Council deliberated on the memo and resolved to approve $220,594 that were previously requested for completion of 2 bridges of Dulakukuru and Kulang bridges along Terkeka Tindilo Tali Road, while the balance Council advised the Ministry to ensure that it is included in the fiscal budget for 20.
Let's go to Arab State capital, Kwajuk, where Governor Bolwek Agoth has called on county commissioners and traditional leaders to disseminate key elements of the state of emergency, including the disarmament of civilians in order to pave the way for social reconciliation and harmony across the state. SSBC Yul Anthony reports.
Following its massive reception in the state, Governor Bolwek Agoth has begun his administrative duties with consultation involving county commissioners and traditional leaders. The focus of this decision is the implementation of the 6-month state of emergency and the disarmament of the civil population as part of the border effort to restore laws and order in the troubled region. During the consultative meeting, Governor Agoth directed county and local authorities to sensitize grassroots communities about the disarmament activities aimed at enhancing security.
So I'm appealing to traditional leaders, chiefs, commissioners of local authority, people who are at grassroots, to tell us what has gone wrong. So we are here to discuss based on our counties, 6 counties. We will break into groups of 6 counties. At this level, I did this in Juba and I'm doing it here. I will do it in Juba in a very short time from now, so that our people tell us what has gone wrong. We want to tell them that they must respect human dignity and human rights.
Additionally, Agoth urged communities to put aside their grievances and work in collaboration with each other and the authorities to promote lasting peace and unity. He emphasized the importance of reporting individuals who incite conflict.
And I'm here to relay the same issues. The grievance is back to the leadership, and that's why I'm appointed to come and hear from you. That's why I have decided to explain the consequences of the state of emergency. Should there be defiance, the consequence will be severe. If there is an acceptance, there will be safety and there will be happiness. I do not talk about issues of development because I don't have a miracle through that. But if the disarmament is done, if we obey what our president decided for the next 6 months or 5 months, let's say, I'm sure our president will reward us with some incentive of development. All connectivity, health services, education, water, and all kinds of freedom that we want to prosper like other states.
Today's meeting marked the beginning of the government effort to effectively implement the state of emergency with the goal of achieving peace and stability among the local communities. Yul Anthony, SSBC News, Kwajok, Warab State.
Authorities in Western Equatorial State officially elevated healthcare services in Iba County. The Iba Primary Healthcare Center is now a fully operational hospital. Speaking at the inauguration, Acting Governor Daniel Badabu Ribasa describes the move as a milestone in fulfilling the government's vision of taking essential services closer to communities. To support the new hospital, Governor Ribasa donated 30 mattresses, 30 bed sheets, and 30 mosquito nets. He also pledged to provide a complete blood count machine to enhance diagnostic capabilities along with additional medications. State Minister of Health, James Abdallah Arona, expressed gratitude to the state leadership for maintaining peace and stability, particularly in Iba County. Iba County Commissioner Wilson Taylor urged the local community and health workers to take responsibility of maintaining the new hospital facility.
What we have done today signifies what the late hero Dr. John Garang Damabior said, that we must take towns to the villages. Today we have brought hospital to Iba, fulfilling the vision of our founding members, fulfilling the commitment of Salva Kiir Mayardit, the president of the country, to the people of South Sudan, to deliver quality and equitable health for the people.
De musulia ude bidaya nein anaderu
هم كناس بتاعنا اللي شغالين في المستشفى بظروفات الكل هم كليشوا ورا عيانين بتاعنا ومهات بتاعنا يال الصغار ناس الكبار في عمر دي مسؤولية أنا دايرو إشنو ما نشيلو.
Beginning as a county commissioner, but advise the health workers that ajade kalumu na wana bito kwes ashan kelisaidu vulnerable nas bitana alfi algade safar.
The South Sudan National Youth Union launches health awareness campaign in preparation for the 14th Independence Anniversary celebrations. Adiang Anai Awan compiles the story voice by Akwitbany Maren.
The South Sudan National Youth Union has initiated its first health awareness campaign scheduled from July 4th to July 9th, starting at the University of Upper Nile. This campaign is part of the preparation for the 14th National Independence Anniversary. It is aimed at promoting public health, peace and unity among the youth and communities. South Sudan National Youth Union Deputy Chairperson Mr. Mutwakel Awol Mamur encourages all youth to participate in campaign to enhance their understanding of health issues.
We came for medical awareness and the free checkup. 2, also to inform you that from today up to 9th July, we will be celebrating in a different form of celebration. In 8th of this month, we will be going to Al Sabah Hospital to support these kids with some needs. Al-Hum al-Hajjad al-Hum al-Dairino. Yom Tiza, we will have the big day in Juba National Stadium.
Johanna Michael, representative from the South Sudan Red Cross, calls upon young people to engage in life-saving activities.
It is first of kind that we have been invited to participate in this occasion. Important. Last time, you are the one who played that role. Also, we can advocate. We can do advocacy. I say that is the message for you.
And that story brings us to the end of our news tonight. On behalf of the team, I am Akuch Maker, and we thank you for joining us. Stay tuned and enjoy the rest of the programs coming up.